Yesterday, we found out the $70,000 fines for vaccine mandates in the Build Back Better plan. What else is in the Build Back Better plan that just came out? Say that 10 times fast. Build Back Better plan, Build Back Better plan, Build Back Better plan. I thought it's all about just taxing the rich. Let's discuss it on the Derek O'Shea Show. Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show, where we discuss culture, news, politics, and more. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to tell your friends and family about the revolution. What's up, everyone? Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to listen to me, hang out with me as we discuss some of the things that, our politicians like to lie to us about, tell us about. Everything. If it sounds too good to be true, it is probably most likely 100%, 99.9, 95, 90% true. Not true. Because that's how it works in life, isn't it? Biden has consistently said that this Build Back Better plan is just about making people pay their fair share. Which is funny because most of his backers, most of the people that helped him get elected are people that don't pay their fair share. And it should make anyone with a brain question, how does that so? How does a company that makes millions and billions and millions and billions and triple jillions of dollars back a president that wants to tax them to kingdom come? Is it because maybe there's loopholes that they can get around and they can still remain and stay rich? Is there ways in which the Biden administration will put out laws in which helps and makes their business grow more and helps them get richer despite having to pay more in taxes? Is there a way for them to continue to stay rich with the help of a Biden plan? Interesting. Something to think about. Manchin came out today. They're talking about this bill. I told you they were voting on this bill today, which they are. They're voting on this bill, and Manchin said his spending limit is $1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion. So at least there's a number. He said, my top line has been $1.5 trillion. He explained that he doesn't want to charge our whole society to an entitlement mentality. There are numbers being flown around everywhere. As Nancy Pelosi says, it's not about the number. It's about the mess. It's about the morality. It's about making us look good. It's about feel-good fact. There's no numbers. And Biden says essentially that $3.5 trillion, it's going to be all paid for. It's going to be free, which sounds good to you and me, except when you and me have to fit the bill. I say, that's not, Derek, how's that even possible? I'm just told that it's going to be the rich people that are going to be paying for it, not me. Well, we just found out yesterday the vaccine mandates that Biden's going to be putting in, that's in this infrastructure bill, aka Build Back Better bill, reconciliation bill. I've seen so many dumb names to this bill. You kind of lose track of what's the actual name of the freaking bill. What is it? Reconciliation? Build Back Better plan? Infrastructure bill? Whatever makes you feel good. It's called spending a lot of effing money bill. And there are a lot of things in this bill that I'm for. Sure. Build back, roads, broadband, sure. I think I say this every single time, you should link up with Starlink, try to figure out a way to help them out in any capacity, because the idea of a satellite giving out free internet sounds freaking fantastic, even if it's cheap. But his upload speeds are amazing. So just latch on to something that's already good. I don't know why you guys think that you can build something better than what's already created that's good. It's like looking at the car right now, and you're like, and those are good. Those companies are making good cars, but we're the government. We need to make our own car. No, you don't. Just use what's already provided for you, my dudes. So what's else in this? What is in this? Another thing that's in this bill that's coming out right now, and it's the IRS thing. As Nebraska becomes the first state to say no. Nebraska says thanks, but no thanks. Nebraska becomes the first state to say they will not comply with Biden's snooping plan to have bank report every single transaction over $600 to the IRS. This is in the plan. This is in the plan that's about infrastructure. Why? Because they have to pay for it in certain degrees. And how are you going to pay for it without You're not going to tell the American public how it's going to be paid, because why would you do that? Because it'll affect their wallets. It'll affect who they are. It'll affect their security. It'll affect their freedoms. And so therefore, I'm not going to say how we're going to pay for it. I'm not going to say what else is in this bill. I'm just going to tell them what's in the bill to make them feel good on the inside. So when it doesn't pass or things get pushed around or Republicans push back, they have an enemy. They have somebody who can say, we tried to pass this bill to make America great again, build back better, whatever you want to say. We tried to, but it was these Republicans, these dangerous Republicans who don't care about America, that pushed back and said no. See, if I was a Republican, I'd be reading this bill and have a lot of people read this bill, and I would see stuff like this, and I'd say, I'm not even going to vote. I'm going to vote no on this bill no matter what, no matter how good this is, because of stuff like this. And like the vaccine mandate thing, that's another thing. I would say, I'm not voting on this. You take these out. This is not an infrastructure bill. But we got to pay for that 3.5 trill, because everything's free, right? The government just prints money. Everything's free. I know we all pay taxes. I don't know where they go. Doesn't seem like things are getting better. We got homeless people on the streets. We got another migrant caravan of Haitians coming this way. I've seen numbers from like 70,000 to 120,000. I've seen crazy numbers of people coming. This administration is more concerned about, and to be fair, a lot of administrations are more concerned about the public image, poll numbers, their Instagram likes, they're doing well on TikTok, the thumbs up on YouTube, than they are about actual American citizens. The people that actually pay for their jobs, pay for them to have power, pay for them to be where they are. Because they think, yeah, you voted them in, but they feel like they are the ones that acquired the power. Not you. You didn't put them in power. And let's go back to this. Nebraska says no, apparently, to this. If the Biden administration sues me, we'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court, says State Treasurer John Murante. The proposal, backed by $79 billion in additional funding, would allow the IRS to peer into aggregate inflows and outflows of bank accounts over $600. I thought this bill was all about the rich. See, when grandma dies and gives you $600 for your, as a passing, or you decide, hey, I'm going to buy that couch, or God forbid, you use that money to buy a firearm or maybe some ammo, well, the IRS just needs to know, hey, where did you get that money from? You got that birthday money compiled up? You won that fantasy football competition? You won? Oh, well, we need to know about that, because you didn't report that last time. I know it was all under the table, but you need to report that. Okay? It's for your safety. It's the only way we're going to have enough money for this stupid bill. Nebraska is already promising to defy Biden's proposal that will require banks to hand over transactions over $600 on individual bank accounts to the IRS. God, we need to know, okay? It's for your safety. It's for your safety. Don't talk to me about individual freedoms or privacy and stuff like that. We don't even have privacy anymore. What are you fighting for? Just lay down cement and cry about it, because we know everything. You're not free. You're not private. We're listening in on your phone conversations all the time. It's a Patriot Act. It's for your safety. My message is really simple. The people of Nebraska entrust me to protect the privacy of these accounts, and I'm going to comply with this. If the Biden administration sues me, we'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court. We're going to fight every step of the way. And that's what we need politicians to fight for, the American people, to fight for their constituents that voted them in. This sounds like a guy who doesn't care if the New York Times comes out with an article saying, this guy is an idiot. This guy is a white supremacist. This guy is a big transphobe, racist piece of poop. This guy's basically QAnon. We don't want to have like people like Lindsey Graham who are definitely afraid of those articles. Won't even go on Tucker Carlson to have a debate or talk, but we'll go on places where he feels safe. That's our Republicans. Our Republicans are weak. Most of them, majority of them, are weak, are scared of the public press. I don't care how crazy you think Majority Taylor Greene is, or Matt Gaetz, or any of these people, Josh Hawley. I don't care if you hate them. At least they have a backbone. I mean, the Democrats seem like they have a backbone, and they don't care about you or me or any prominent YouTubers talking crap about them. They don't care. Gavin Newsom, he put everyone in lockdown, then went out to eat with his friends and family with no masks on while everyone else is shut down and his kids are still in school. He doesn't care. He'll do whatever he wants. He'll say whatever he wants. But Republicans are deathly afraid. Please don't write that article about me. The proposal backed by $79 billion in additional funding would allow the IRS to peer into aggregate inflows and outflows in banks' transactions. This crackdown on unreported income, like those gift cards and you got good get well soon stuff and you raise money to buy a used car. We need to know these things. Did you just spend $601 on a vacation? Where did you get that money? We've been watching what you've been making. No way. It's my business. I need to know these things. You're spending too much money. What money? Where did you get that money? You need to report this stuff. The crackdown on unreported income is expected to generate $463 billion. Hey, that sounds good, doesn't it, Democrats and Republicans? God, we need to crack down on these private citizens and they're passing around money that could be ours. That's our money. It's not their money. It's our money. We don't work for the public. The public works for us. The crackdown on unreported income is expected to generate $463 billion over the next decade, according to the Office Tax Analysis. Yes, we will get these $600 transactions. If it was all about the rich, it'd be like $10,000 transactions. But of course, but it shouldn't matter whatsoever. You shouldn't be snooping around. Who gives a crap? But the government cares because the government wants to know everything you're doing. Hey, what they're doing in Australia is not too bad, is it? It's for their safety. It's for different. The money would be used to partially fund the $3.5 trillion reconciliation plan. Murante states that he believes other states would also refuse to comply. We will see. We have members across the country who are committed to limited government and free market approach, but we are unanimously against the proposal. It is invasion of privacy and lacks due process, he said. Wyoming Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis on Tuesday tore into Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Tuesday for her support of the Biden proposal, saying, "Banks do not work for the IRS." Lummis said, "This is invasion of privacy. Wyoming's people literally will find alternatives to traditional banks, just thwart the IRS access to their own personal information, like a Coinbase wallet." What? Bitcoin? Not because they're trying to hide anything, but because they are not willing to share everything. Murante, once again, this quote, "We have members across the country who are committed to limited government and free market approaches." This is my final thoughts on this podcast, is that Republicans have taken this approach of limited government, free market approaches, which I'm all for because I lean towards the right. But here's the thing. They can no longer be bystanders and just allow things to just roll, and they can't just say these things. They have to actively fight for you and me. They have to actively fight for your privacy, to actively fight for your freedoms, to actively fight for your rights. We have a government right now that's constantly trying to push the line. What they do always is that they go way too far out, and then they come back a little bit. Hey, we didn't actually mean go all the way there. We just wanted to see if we'd get you a little bit there. And then they keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. But your privacy doesn't matter. It's about your safety. We're in this together. We're in COVID-19. We're in a crisis. We need the infrastructure bill. We need to know if your grandma gave you $601 for your birthday. God, I wish my grandma gave me that money. Grandma, I need $601. We have a government constantly trying to push the boundaries on privacy and your freedom of speech and any kind of freedoms whatsoever. I employ Republicans, I employ logically thinking Democrats, anybody, to vote for candidates who are for freedom over safety, who are for privacy over just general knowledge, I guess. Because you might be a white supremacist. You might be a terrorist. You don't know these things. This isn't, what was that movie? Minority Report. Freedom in this country is being taken constantly, slowly in governments as you see these new red flag laws being pushed down, which is the stupidest law in the whole wide world. I can't believe there are Republicans even voting, Republicans that are claiming they're all about 2A. BS. Well, you got mental health issues, you shouldn't have these things. Well, who's the one that declares that person has a mental health issue? Is it their neighbor? Is it their friends? Is it their relative who hates their guts? I don't know. They're constantly pushing to make the government bigger and stronger and to have more authority over your life, because we're all going to live in pods and we're all going to eat a vegetarian diet because it's good for the environment. Hey, it's for your safety. Don't you want your grandkids to live? I know there's some pushback to say that this IRS bill isn't that big of a deal. Who cares? I care. Because if somebody gives me $601, the government shouldn't know about that. If I win fancy football with my friends, we all put in cash, we're having a good time. They don't need to know. I don't make that much money anyways. To me, just to start declaring all these silly little funds, which I do anyways, but to government to be watching always, because here's what's going to happen. It starts with the $600, but they're going to watch every single transaction, and there's going to be things in their inventory that pops up as red flag. This person purchased this thing, red flag. You go to these websites, you buy this hat that says Make America Great Again. Stuff like that will be put together and created a list. And you think I'm crazy? Why else would they care? Seriously. You think, but we have a government that's constantly trying to get more money, trying to build back better. And again, the $600 spending thing. Who does this impact the most? Does this impact the ultra rich and wealthy who this bill is all about, apparently, according to Biden? Just another weird caveat that he says constantly about this bill? Or does it affect you and me, the average everyday person? It always comes down to you and me. Always. I know they try to sell you, and I have friends that just buy into this crap, buy into the idea that they're actually going to go after the rich, and the rich are just going to take it on, and that's all, and that's where the buck stops. But it never stops there, does it? It goes down to you and me. And that's why we need to care about these bills, and that's why we need to hold our representatives accountable, as they consistently, in this day and age, especially after COVID, they constantly are pushing the boundaries of privacy, freedom, and what does safety look like? What's more important to you? Privacy and safety? Privacy and freedom, or safety and whatever agenda a politician says is a good thing to do? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm genuinely curious. Curious. You know, it is Thursday, people. We're having a great time. Feel free to call me at 720-727-7572. I'd greatly appreciate it. Or you can text me. You can ask me any questions. Leave a message after the beep. If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/Derek O'Shea Show. I'd greatly appreciate that as well. Buymeacoffee.com /Derek O'Shea Show, all one word. No apostrophe in the O'Shea, just one word. Be a part of the show, be a part of the revolution, be a part that goes against mainstream media and any kind of big tech person. I am just one man doing a show by myself, and I hope that inspires you to speak out too. I hope you have a fan-freaking-tastic day, and just to let you know, if you agree or like things I say, you're not alone. The media likes to pretend like you're all alone, and they all prop up the crazy loud voices. Whoever's the craziest on each side, they prop up. And I hope I cut right through that. I want to be logical. I want to think things through. And I want to have educated conversations. And I don't want to just blast people because it makes me feel good on the inside or for clicks and views. And yeah, get them. That's not what I'm about. Unless they deserve it. Unless they're bullying somebody else. Whenever somebody's picking on somebody else or talking crap or just saying evil stuff, and I'm going to call it out and I'm going to make fun of it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I have some more stuff coming out earlier. I'm going live for the press conference as always on Thursday. Hope you have a fantastic day. I hope to see you on my live press conference. Guess what? I love you. I do. And I appreciate you. Feel free to share this on every single platform. I would greatly appreciate that too. It means a lot to me when you do that. It's the only way I grow. It's through you. You going, wow, this guy's kind of cool. He's also a dork, and he's an idiot. I'm going to share his stuff. I greatly appreciate that. Have a great day. Thank you for having the cojones to even think about doing it. And I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show. If I see anything interesting in the news coming out later, I will post it and let you know. But this was the most interesting piece of information I could find. Everything else has already been talked about, or it's just not worth talking about. I hope I bring you news that it's actually worth talking about. I don't want to just be another source that feels like I need to put stuff out just to put stuff out. Have a great day. And as always, I'll see you on the next episode of The Derek O'Shea Show.